Okay, so I was watching this video on YouTube and the guy is explaining how to create this wonderful render. I like it a lot. And it's by creating patterns. So first he has a tool that creates one image like this. And the same tool can also create this kind of pattern.
We can lower it.
And then it's all nuke stuff in order to get this result. So I'm going to try it in Tooll3. So first I will need a grid point. Let's draw some points. Let's pin this one. I don't need the z-axis. I will give them a color like this. Then add randomize points. And I will randomize their position on the X and Y. This, and also stretch them. And we don't see much happening. So here I will create just a solid render target. Say white. Let's make it a square. Now we have those little squares. Instead of draw points, I will use draw billboards. Now we can see that we have different sizes. And I can randomize the color as well. So since we are already pinkish, I will only randomize the hue. So now I get some difference like this. Can I colorize only the... What if I change the alpha channel here? We get some... Don't need this one anymore. So now I can play with the random phase. Maybe the grid point is a bit small. And let's add some variation also on the z-axis. Okay, so now I have my pattern generator. Alright, so let's make a break in order to think about what I'm going to do later. So back to work. I can also randomize the W. Let's say 2. One is enough. And the scale. With random stuff, you can spend hours trying to find a pattern that you enjoy. You have tons of controls. can even add more. Like this, I like it. Okay, so now with draw billboard, I will use the point rotation. And maybe I will randomize the z-axis a bit less, so it's more flat. So let's add a camera, render target. So if I move the camera like this, maybe it's even easier to add a transform here. So I can simply rotate like this. Translate up. We get this. Let's try to create the dot pattern. But I can, before I want to play with a bit with a blur with mask. Let's add a linear gradient. No, a linear gradient. Like this. Align to 8. Maybe we don't want to repeat it. We just add another white here and black here. So I get more control. Like this. What if I use a line of points that goes on the y-axis? Say I want 16, and I will repeat at G points. See what's happening. So I'm not sure. Let's invert them. Okay. So the line point is going. If I go to the z-axis. All right. Then reduce the length. That would be interesting to have, to make them go darker as they go. Maybe if I do like this. Oh. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. And the draw billboard, maybe the draw settings, we can disable that, right? Enable. I'm not sure. Let's get them back to full alpha. It's kind of interesting. Ah, okay, the blur is doing this. So maybe the line point is a bit too much. Also, I can do like this and change the center to -0.5. So they remain at the same position? Absolutely not. Why? It's really fun. Anyway, it's a random pattern. Also, oh, they're going upward, so I want to go downward. So let's say the length factor is just like this, and I go in the opposite direction. No. So this must be white. And this is going to be transparent. And now if I... Hey, what the hell? I need to flip this? Absolutely not. I'm so confused all the time. Why? I get a totally different pattern when I do this. Let's get rid of the transform. So everything is going in one direction. So let's keep the center at 0. Okay. So let's flip this again. Now I'm so confused. The -.5 length factor by 0.16. You watch me bugging on something? Why? Okay, Okay. Combine buffers. So now I see this buffer and this buffer as well. Ah, okay. So this must be the half of this. So if I said minus 0.8, 0.8. All right. Let's bypass this. Nice. So if I want to keep the control of this, I can click here, vector 3. Control click here. So I have my length factor. I multiply by minus 0.5. And now I can use it in the Z. So I need to try again. Okay. I feel better. I can play with the length factor. I can use my transform. Reset the camera view. Interesting. Okay, so now the dot pattern. How to create the dot pattern overlay. Also maybe we don't need this repeat me shot point. Go back to this. Dot pattern overlay. I have no idea how to generate the dot pattern. But of course it starts with a grid. Maybe. Draw points. But how can I decimate? I can try filter points. Nice. But what could be interesting is to keep this like this and make another grid. But and once again repeat at G point. This time we can scale it down. So what is happening if I flip them? Because I'm always confused. Let's say I want only 4 by 4. And this grid, I can make it way bigger. But it would be interesting to get more interesting patterns. So I will create a loop. Let's say 16. And here I will add another filter point. Get int variable. This is I, not the start index. Seed. But if I pin the loop, yeah, but 50 is too much, so 8, step by 1. I still get always the same repeated pattern. Why? Oh, the loop, we need a sliced viewport. Let's say I want 8 by 8. Render target. Height index 8 by 8. 64. Like this. And now I can use the seed. Now I get different patterns. Let's make our render target a quad. Maybe this grid point is a bit too small. Size by 2. Can go back to 1. Can make it even more render by adding get float variable, and this one is f. Can you use it with scatter select? What if I don't get the seed? No. 8 by 8. I want to center my what a mess. In fact, I don't need this one. Now my grid point. This, I'm happy like this. Scatter select. And also do the count like this. And the seed as well. Now that we have our loop, I can use a draw billboard here. Use this as a texture. So our slice support is 8 by 8. Texture and cells 8 by 8. Let's duplicate this. Change the random phase to 0 to 18. Then we can group. Let's see what we get. Whoa, a big mess. This linear gradient should be more like this. Can increase the blur. And the draw billboard, we can blend it like multiply. Skip it to normal. Place it over. This one will be multiply. Let's go back to normal for everyone. And why this? Oh, okay. So we didn't need to randomize the color here, so we can go back to white. No color randomization. And this could be transparent. Also no randomization on the z-axis. It's not easy. Oh, I see. But why I get this? Why I get this black thing here? I don't want this. It's better. Maybe I don't want to randomize W. Another stretch. Just position. No. Maybe I want more. Maybe I want less. Okay, 15 was okay. Let's analyze this. Okay, I need no samples. Let's go like this. Six by six. So let's divide it by 2. I think this looks more interesting because they keep being the same and also different. But I can also do like this, start index, and add int. The start index, I don't want to change the count. Yeah, good enough. This blur is too strong. This drop billboard, can I do a color variation? Can I change this like this? Not bad. And he's coloring I can maybe use a gradient preset. And also duplicate this. But this time I want to keep it white. Let's duplicate this one. Shall I move the... Why when you do something it always looks bad compared to the original? Let's take... Oh. Look at the original. Way better. So this grid point... Also the randomization is too high. What if I use my awesome pattern here? Eight by eight. These plats are a bit I like it now. I think it's fun. Because I have this depth that I enjoy. What's happening if I'm moving the camera? And now the fun part. Time. and we can keep having fun. So I spent so much time on this, and I'm not using it. Quite fun. Maybe I can add a counter. Count int, counter, count int, counter, count int, counter. Last step, result, the count int. Trigger increment, start index. Not that fun. So any value. $50 minutes. We have some fun effects. Maybe this green is too green. The green is too green. We can make it better than it was. Yeah, we don't need the green. This. Can even deactivate it. I like it. Let's make some screenshots. Without it, screenshot.